Okay, beautiful day today. Very nice weather. This is my scrap steel pile here in my yard, and it's growing and it's not getting any smaller. So what I've done is I've scheduled to have a roll-off bin come in, and from my scrapyard they're going to drop a roll-off bin into my driveway, and I'm going to fill it up from there. And the one thing I want to do is concentrate on this. I'm going to process all of this wire. This is number one, insulated copper wire. So you have some really big stuff here, and then you have a lot of regular Romex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip it all, take all the wire insulation off of it, all the plastic insulation, and see how much money I can make. This stuff does have a scrap price as is, so you can bring it to the scrapyard just like this, and they will give you a good price for it. I don't really know how much it is because they don't advertise it on their website, and they don't usually like to tell you how much until you're there on the scale. But yeah, they will buy it it's better than number two insulated copper wire. This would be number one because it is a heavier gauge. And here's all the wire now. I just have it spread out in the driveway. It's getting cooked by the sun, which serves two purposes. One is that it will soften up the plastic sheathing a little bit, so the blade will cut through easier. Number two is that this stuff is all a little bit wet, even though it's been stored outside. And even though these buckets do have holes in them, they are a little bit wet because we've had a lot of rain. The next step is going to be sorting this stuff out and putting it into piles based on the thickness of the wire, based on the gauge of the wire. You want to do that because you don't have to reset the depth of your blade every single time. So you want to just have one gauge of wire and do a whole bunch of it, then reset the blade and do another size of wire. That took me an hour or so to sort out all this. It's a lot of wire, more than I thought. And you know, just sorting it out into groups. So there was a little bit of bear bright that I found in it, and that's just all short little pieces. I really don't like that stuff because each little piece takes a long time, and I may just end up throwing that stuff in with insulated wire. This is a lot of well, that stuff may not be worth it to see. You can just look at it and you see it has a lot of plastic. Whenever you see a lot of plastic on it, it just you know, may not be worth it compared to something like that. It's just more copper than plastic in the wire, whereas this one here, you know, it's more plastic than copper. I don't know if I said that right. I think you know what I mean. But anyways, yeah, so this is all 3-wire, like really big thick 3-wire. That's all the household Romex wire. That stuff is fun. It's fun because it's really long, and I'm being sarcastic. It's not fun. None of this stuff is really fun. The only fun wire to strip is this stuff here, because you get so much bang for the buck. So much bang for, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, look at that. So that stuff is good. I have a lot of that. And the wire stripper I have, it will strip this. This is probably the biggest piece that I have here. It's really small though. But you know, it will strip it. Actually, I don't know. That might be a little bit too thick. We'll see. I'll show you guys. This is like 12 gauge wire, and that's 14 gauge. That is the 3-wire Romex, and yeah, that stuff's not fun either. And this is kind of like stranded wire. I think they call this stuff angel wire, angel hair, or something like that. So it's just a lot of really small strands all put together. So I got some booster cables here and some other heavy stuff. I don't know if you can see it there. It's all heavy, so if it feels heavy, it'll be worth stripping. And this is just some smaller gauge wire. It's just like that stuff, but smaller. So that's that. I'll show you my setup in here. So this is my wire stripper, and I bought this off eBay. They've dropped the price by a lot since I've last looked, because I bought mine, I think it was close to $400 or $500, I think. Now I think it's like around 300. This is Canadian dollars I'm talking about, guys. But yeah, they've dropped the price on these things quite a bit. I've had mine for a couple of years now, and I've been using it steady, and it's been really holding up very well. No issues. A little bit of surface rust, but it's not a big deal. And the blade is staying sharp. If your wire is wet, it's not going to work. So that's why, you know, I have it out there cooking. Now there may be water underneath that jacket, so it may still be a little bit hard to strip. But if it's wet, you're going to have problems. Now when I get the Romex, this is what I like to do, is just put it in the vise, and then I take a knife, and then this way I can just put it right through there, and then just go like that. And there you go. Then you can easily just take it apart like that. So I know in my video right now I'm going to get some comments that are saying, I know what I do, man. I just put all in a big bonfire and I burn it all, and then you know, just take it all out. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money by stripping it. This is ridiculous. Just burn it, man. You know. Yeah, I don't know if they're using that. I don't think that's the way they sound in real life, but that's the way it sounds to me when I read the comments. It's all good. But I know I'm just going to get comments that are saying, yeah, put this stuff in a bonfire and burn it and then bring it in. There you go. End of story. And there's a few problems with that. One is you're going to downgrade the value of your copper. If you strip it like this, you'll get bare bright price, which is the highest price. If you burn it, you're going to get number 1 copper. Well, number 2 is that it's illegal to burn copper wire, and it's illegal because it's really bad for the environment. So you're taking your chances. You know, if you bring in a big pile of burnt wire into the scrapyard, and let's say, for example, the Ministry of Environment was there at the same time, you'd probably get a fine. You'd probably get caught. Yeah, so it's just not worth it. Number 3 is that, you know, if I were to make a YouTube video about burning this big pile of copper wire and putting it out there on YouTube, my YouTube career would be over. I'd get a strike, and I'd probably be demonetized and all that sort of stuff. And number 4 is that not everyone has a big property like mine. A lot of people are living in the city, living in apartment buildings. So when I make my videos, I try and keep that in mind, that I try to think of something that anyone can do in their living room. And this is something you can do in your living room. Might be a little messy, but you know, it's just something you can do while you're watching TV, you know? So those are the reasons why I'm not making a video about burning copper wire. And I know I'm going to get comments that say, yeah, just burn it all, but those are my reasons. So do what you want. This is one way to do it, I guess. And anyways, on with the show. I'm going to start working. This guard here has to be in a certain position depending on what gauge of wire you're going to use, because what it does, it kind of pulls down the wire so that the wire has to go over this this wheel here. And otherwise, what will happen if it doesn't do that, it'll just jump out of the slot, out of that little slot in there. And that's what it does. Nice big cut. I had to take this guard plate off because I'm doing some of the really big stuff right now, and it just does not fit through. So this is going to be I'm just going to wing it from here on. About a ½ an inch in diameter. Put it down a little bit and go one more time. There we go. See that? And I just take my pliers and rip it off. Nice big piece of copper. This is what I have so far. Got a few nice big pieces in there. And a whole bunch of little stuff. I haven't done any of that white household Romex yet, so I'm just working on the bigger stuff first. And I got all that too. It is Friday morning, and I was out late last night working. I was out here working until about 11 o'clock at night. I got all this done, and I got this pile of copper here, and these 3 buckets. All I have left to do is this. I have that to strip, and then I have all of this up here to strip as well. So that's not going to take me very long. And yeah, it's probably, I'd say, around 10 hours of work I've put into this so far. So we'll see if it's worth it. I'm sure it will be. Copper prices right now is so-so. Oh well. I'm going to try and get this all stripped and brought to the scrapyard today. I want to get it all brought to the scrapyard today. We'll see how that goes. I should have enough time to do it all. And then what I like to do is just take a pair of pliers. It really helps to get it started, and then it'll just fall right off. Most of the time. It'll be a little bit finicky to get the blade at just the right height, but once you do, for the gauge of wire that you have, you'll be able to fly through it all. All done. I unbolted it from my workbench. All this white powder you see here, that's talcum powder, baby powder, and I've used that because some of the wiring was wet or oily, and it helped out a lot. So that's that. These are the 2 bags. There's another garbage bag full of plastic wiring. These are just 2 of them, but this is all the plastic. I'll have to dispose of that somehow. A lot of copper wire. Okay, well, now we just have one more thing to do, is load it all up onto the truck and bring it to the scrapyard and see how much this is all worth. It's a lot of work from this, but hopefully it's going to pay off. Alright, we'll go to the scrapyard and see how much I can get for all this junk. Number 2 insulated, number 1 insulated, number 1 copper, and Bear Bright copper. That hot water tank is just going to stay in the truck for now. Oh yeah, then I have my bucket of brass right over there too. So we'll bring that in, and then I can do a comparison between the number 1 being stripped or not stripped and stripped. So we'll see what the price difference is between those 2. I just made it back home, emptied out all the buckets that I had. Show you what I got here. So the Bear Bright copper, sorry for that one, it was the big one. He gave me $2.90 for $426.30. There was 127 pounds of Bear Bright copper. So there you go. The adjust is right there. You see there is the tear, which are the buckets that I brought. So let's see the other stuff that I got. So number 1 copper is, he gave me $2.55, so it's 35 cents less than the other one. Insulated. So this is the number 1 insulated wire. It's $1.05. So you can see the difference there between it's $1.05 a pound versus $2.90 a pound. So let me do the math real quick here. So the difference between number 1 and Bear Bright is $1.85. Definitely worth it to strip it. That's a good amount, $1.85. Yeah, so it's definitely worth it. The number 1 insulated wire, I brought in 27 pounds, and it was $28.35. There was a black pail of number 2 insulated, 28 pounds, again same as the other one almost, and 60 cents a pound, $16.80. And lastly, I did bring in a little bit of brass, 12 pounds of brass, for $19.20, and they're giving me $1.60 a pound. $513.60 in total was that trip of scrap. And I've spent a lot of time on that Bear Bright. It was worth it for sure. So that's it, video's over guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. If you guys want to pick up this wire stripper, I'll leave the link in the description below, so you can go follow the link over to eBay and go check it out, see how much it is, and if it's a tool that you want to add to your workshop. If you are into scrapping metal and you want to support my channel, which I know you all want to do, here is something you can do. We are in the decal business, or decal business, whichever way you want to say it. So we got a whole bunch of decals for sale, and so I have some of these, for example, and you can go buy this from me, and it's going to be about $5 depending on where you live. If you live in the US, I'm going to have to put a little bit of money for shipping, but in Canada it's going to be free shipping. But so you can put that on the back of your truck or anywhere you want really, and you can advertise to people that you scrap metal and you pick up scrap. So I'll leave the link in the description below as well for these decals, and you can go to my eBay store, check that out, and I have a bunch of them for sale. They have all different kinds of sayings. Yeah, I forget which ones I have there, but some eBay ones too, if you want to advertise to people that you buy and sell on eBay. So that's it for the video guys. So thanks so much for watching, and good luck with your wire stripping.